Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video we are going to cover the most important questions of first week of March. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app, and for regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. So now let's start. Ritesh Agarwal, who was named as the world's second youngest billionaire, is the founder of which Indian startup company? So he is the founder of Oyo Hotels, and recently Hurun Global Rich List was released, and as per this list, he is the world's second youngest billionaire, while Ms. Kylie Jenner is the world's youngest billionaire. If we talk about this Hurun Global Rich List, as per this list, China has the maximum number of billionaires. Founder of Amazon, Mr. Jeff Bezos, is on the top of this list, while Mr. Mukesh Ambani, who is the richest in Asia, is also in the top 10. Which state recently passed resolution to conduct a caste-based census in state? So recently this resolution was passed by the Bihar Legislative Assembly. Bihar was also in news as it passed a resolution to not to implement NRC, that is National Register of Citizens. Bihar was also in news as recently Bihar government signed MOU with BNHS. BNHS stands for Bombay Natural History Society, and it is a non-governmental organization, and Bihar government signed memorandum with this organization to set up bird ringing station. So this one is going to be the fourth bird ringing station in our country. However, this is the first one with the active support of government, and this MOU was signed on the sidelines of COP13 CMS. Now CMS stands for Convention on Migratory Species and COP stands for Conference of Parties. So this CMS COP13 held in Gujarat, and for this event GB, that is Great Indian Bustard, was the mascot. Answer in comment box, this conference held in which city of Gujarat? The Diamond Princess cruise ship, which witnessed the largest coronavirus outbreak, is quarantined in which country? So right answer is Japan. After various passengers and the crew members were diagnosed with the coronavirus infection, this cruise ship has been quarantined in Japan. Now it should be noted that the official name of disease caused by coronavirus is COVID-19, and this name was given by WHO, that is World Health Organization. It should be noted that recently San Francisco, a city in USA in California, declared emergency because of coronavirus outbreak. Apart from that, recently Singapore became the first country to develop an antibody test to identify the coronavirus. Singapore was also in news as it is the top performing country as per the Global Competitiveness Index. Answer in comment box, what is India's ranking as per this particular index? CARO 2020, which was in news recently, is associated with which field? So it is associated to regulations of companies. Actually recently MCA, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs, notified this company's Auditors Report Order 2020. So the CARO is related to the regulations for companies. Now as per this recent notification, all the listed companies should disclose the information about the complaints filed by the whistleblowers. That means if there is a complaint against your company by any whistleblower, then that should be notified to the auditor of that particular company, and this complaint should be mentioned in the audit reports. The International Conference on Standardization of Diagnosis and Terminologies in Ayurveda, Unani and Siddha Medicines was held in which city? So this event held in New Delhi. It should be noted that after this event, the New Delhi Declaration was adopted, and this declaration is associated to collection and classification of traditional medicine. Now one thing that should be noted that there is one more New Delhi Declaration that was in news recently, and it is associated to conservation of rhino species. If we talk about rhino, recently Sumatran rhino became extinct in Malaysia. Malaysia was in news as recently Mr. Muhyiddin Yassin became the new Prime Minister of Malaysia. The previous Prime Minister was Mahathir Mohamad. Capital of Malaysia is Kuala Lumpur. As of 2020, how many languages in India are given the status of classical language? So there are 6 languages which have received the status of classical language, and these are Tamil, Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam and Odia. So Tamil was the first one to receive classical status and Odia was the last one so far. Now, why this topic was in news? This was in news because recently Maharashtra Assembly passed a resolution requesting the central government to provide classical language status to Marathi. Now, answer in comment box, is Marathi mentioned in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution? Now, Maharashtra was also in news as recently Maharashtra government declared 5 days week. That means government officials will have to work for 5 days and they will get 2 days in a week as holiday. Maharashtra was also in news because of its decision to provide 5% reservation to Muslims in all educational institutions of the state. Now, if we talk about languages, recently the term Kiliki was in news. Answer in comment box what it is. Which association recently collaborated with NITI Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission to launch artificial intelligence based module for Indian school students? So, for this, NASSCOM and Atal Innovation Mission collaborated. If we talk about Atal Innovation Mission, it is an initiative of NITI Aayog. NITI Aayog is an executive body, and recently NITI Aayog was in news as it is going to develop NDAP. Now, what is NDAP? NDAP stands for National Data and Analytics Platform. So, this platform will make all government data accessible to common citizens. Now, NITI Aayog was also in news as recently it released School Education Quality Index, and as per this index, Kerala is the top performing state while Uttar Pradesh is the worst performing state. What is the theme of National Science Day? So the theme was Women in Science, and this day is celebrated to commemorate the discovery of Raman effect by Dr. C.V. Raman, and it is celebrated on 28th of February. Theme of this year was Women in Science. The Land Records and Services Index is released by which organization? So recently this was released by National Council of Applied Economic Research. It should be noted that it is a New Delhi based think tank and it was established in 1956. So as per this recent index on land records, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha are the top performing states in terms of digitization of land records. Which Indian payment bank recently crossed a milestone of 2 crore customers? So recently IPPB, that is India Post Payment Bank, achieved this milestone. It should be noted that IPPB was launched by Indian Prime Minister in 2018 and it is a 100% government owned entity and it operates under Department of Post, and this Department of Post is under Ministry of Communications. Which organization recently offered an indigenous multi-role chopper to Indian Armed Forces? So recently HAL, that is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, offered indigenous multi-role chopper to the Indian Armed Forces. Now it should be noted that HAL is under Defense Ministry and the headquarters of HAL is in Bengaluru in Karnataka. Now recently Defense Ministry was in news as Defense Expo held in Lucknow. Lucknow is in Uttar Pradesh, and during this Defense Expo, the conclave of India and African nations was organized, and this conclave adopted Lucknow Declaration for better collaboration between India and African nations in the field of defense. Ka-Ching is co-branded credit card launched by IndiGo airline in collaboration with which bank? So recently this was launched in collaboration with SDFC Bank, and this card will provide various benefits and discounts to the passengers of IndiGo. Now it should be noted that for this particular project, IndiGo has collaborated with SDFC Bank and with MasterCard. Recently MasterCard was in news as the CEO of MasterCard, Mr. Ajay Banga, is going to retire. Now SDFC was also in news as SDFC, ICICI and SBI are the DSIB. DSIB stands for Domestic Systematically Important Bank, and RBI declares DSIB. Now, the meaning of this DSIB is that these banks are too big to fail, and if they are going to fail, they will have impact on entire economy. Sumant Katpalia was recently appointed as the CEO of which bank? So, recently, Mr. Sumant Katpalia was appointed as the Chief Executive of IndusInd Bank, and he will take charge from 24th of March, and he is going to replace Mr. Romesh Sobti. 1000 Springs Initiative, which was recently launched by Union Tribal Affairs Minister Mr. Arjun Munda, aims to increase the access of which component? So, it is about water, and the main objective of this initiative is to ensure the access to safe and adequate water for tribal communities. Now recently, Mr. Arjun Munda was also in news as he was elected as the president of AAI, that is Archery Association of India. Mr. Munda was also in news as recently he requested Ministry of Home Affairs to include Ladakh into 6th schedule of Indian Constitution. Presently, 4 states are in the 6th schedule. These are A, T, M, M. That is Assam, Tripura, Mizoram and Meghalaya. It should be noted that Manipur is not part of 6th schedule. Now Ladakh was also in news as recently RBI designated State Bank of India as the lead convener bank of Ladakh. On the other hand, Jammu and Kashmir Bank was made the lead convener bank of Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Which state has recently reduced the retirement age of government employees to 58 years? So, this decision was taken by the state government of Punjab, and it reduced the retirement age from 60 to 58. The state government also decided to provide free education in government schools to all students up to class 12. Now, Punjab was also in news as recently it banned online lottery system. Punjab was also in news as recently it passed a resolution against CAA, that is Citizenship Amendment Act. Kerala was the first state to pass resolution against CAA, and so far Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Rajasthan and West Bengal have passed resolution against CAA. It should be noted that recently the Union Territory of Puducherry also passed a resolution against CAA, and it became the first Union Territory to pass a resolution against Citizenship Amendment Act, which is the first major defense ship to clear all sea acceptance trials in a single sea surety. So recently, INS Varad became first ship to clear all sea acceptance trials in a single sea surety, and recently this INS Varad was handed over to Coast Guards by L&T, that is Larsen and Toubro. India's first commercial liquefied compressed natural gas bus was launched in which state? So it was launched in Kerala, and this is the first LNG bus. Apart from that, recently the first electric intercity bus was started in Maharashtra. Answer in comment box, it was started between which two cities? Now if we talk about LNG, Qatar is the world's largest LNG supplier. Capital of Qatar is Doha, and recently US-Taliban deal was also signed in Doha. It should be noted that India was invited by the Qatar to attend this event. Qatar was also in news as last year, that means in 2019, it quit OPEC, that is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. The headquarters of OPEC is in Vienna, and this year Ecuador quit OPEC. Answer in comment box whether Ecuador share border boundary with Brazil or not. CPCB, that is Central Pollution Control Board, recently partnered with which power-based company to install air quality monitoring stations? So for this, CPCB and NTPC has collaborated, and the data from these air quality monitoring stations will be used as inputs for AQI, that is Air Quality Index. If we talk about CPCB, it is a statutory body and it is under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Recently, CPCB was in news as it collaborated with Bhopal Municipal Corporation to set up India's first e-waste clinic, and it is in Bhopal. Bhopal is in Madhya Pradesh. As per the recent report, which was the leading city in digital transactions in India in 2019. So Bengaluru was the leading city in terms of digital transactions, while Mumbai was on third position, Chennai was on second position, and Pune was on fourth position in terms of digital transactions. It should be noted that UPI, that is Unified Payment Interface, was the most preferred mode of payment last year. The first India Protein Day is celebrated in which year? So this was celebrated in 2020, and it was celebrated on 27th of February, and the theme of this event was Protein Mein Kya Hai? That means what is there in protein. The term delimitation, which was in news recently, is associated with which process? So this term is associated to fixing limitation of territorial constituencies. That means for elections, what is going to be the boundary of a constituency? This is decided by delimitation, and for this purpose there is a delimitation commission. Now recently this topic was in news because government cancelled its earlier notification which postponed the delimitation in Assam, Nagaland, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh. Previously government postponed the delimitation in these states for security concerns. Now government issued a fresh notification and said that now the conditions are normal, therefore the delimitation exercise can be conducted. Now it should be noted that in India till now 4 times delimitation commission has been constituted, and this delimitation commission is a powerful body and its orders cannot be challenged in court. Which state hiked the local area development fund of MLAs to ₹3 crore per year? So this state is Uttar Pradesh. The previous limit was 2 crore rupee and now it is 3 crore. Uttar Pradesh was also in news because of Defence Expo, and after this Defence Expo there was a first India-Africa conclave, and after this conclave Lucknow Declaration was signed for defence collaboration. Uttar Pradesh was also in news because of Kashi Mahakal Express, and this is the third private train and it was started by IRCTC, and this is going to connect Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh to Indore in Madhya Pradesh. The first private train is between Lucknow and Delhi and it is Tejas Express. Answer in comment box what is the route of second private train. NITI Aayog has selected which union territory for the first pilot project on Sustainable Development Goals? So it is Jammu and Kashmir, and recently NITI Aayog selected this for the first pilot project on SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goals. Now recently NITI Aayog also released SDG India Index, and as per this index Uttar Pradesh has shown maximum improvement while Bihar was the worst performing state as per this index. On the other hand, Kerala was the top performer and Chandigarh was the top performer in union territories. Which public sector enterprise is the implementing agency of Renewable Energy Management Centre scheme? So right answer is Power Grid Corporation, and recently Union Power Minister Mr. R.K. Singh inaugurated Renewable Energy Management Centres. Now one important fact is that the government had approved the implementation of Renewable Energy Management Centres as central scheme, and this Power Grid Corporation is going to be the implementing authority for this particular initiative. Which Indian city is to host the World Productivity Congress 2020? So Bengaluru is the host of this particular event, and this event is going to be in India after a gap of 45 years. Now it should be noted that this World Productivity Congress is being organized since 1969, and this Congress held in India in 1974. That means in last time this held in India in 1974, and now it is being organized in India after a gap of 45 years, and it is going to be in Bengaluru in Karnataka. Paul Biya, who recently won the presidential elections, is the incumbent president of which African country? So he is the president of Cameroon. It should be noted that Cameroon is a country in Central Africa, and Mr. Paul Biya won the presidential elections recently. Now, if we talk about few other political leaders which were in news recently, Russia appointed Mr. Mikhail Mishustin as new Prime Minister. That means Russian President Mr. Putin appointed Mr. Mikhail Mishustin as new president. On the other hand, recently Lebanon formed new government under Prime Minister Hassan Diab. Apart from him, recently Ashraf Ghani won the presidential elections in Afghanistan. Afghanistan was also in news as recently US-Taliban peace deal was signed in Doha in Qatar. Taliban is a group from Afghanistan and Doha is the capital of Qatar. Dr. S. Shetter, who passed away recently, was associated to which profession? So he was well-known historian and he passed away recently. Bundelkhand Expressway, which was in news recently, is proposed to be built across which state? So it is going to be in Uttar Pradesh. And recently, Prime Minister Mr. Modi laid the foundation stone for this Bundelkhand Expressway at Chitrakoot. So this is going to support the Bundelkhand Defense Industrial Corridor. Now, it should be noted that during the budget speech in 2018-19, the Finance Minister announced two defense corridors, one of which is going to be in Uttar Pradesh, another one is going to be in Tamil Nadu. Now, Uttar Pradesh was also in news as India's first transgender university is going to be in Uttar Pradesh. The Prime Minister recently launched 10,000 FPOs all over the country. Now, what is the full form of FPO? It stands for Farmer Produce Organizations. So, this FPO scheme was initiated by the Small Farmers Agribusiness Consortium and it is under Ministry of Agriculture. So, this FPO help in grouping of small, marginal and landless farmers and therefore it help in providing access to technology, seeds and fertilizers. Now, recently there was a scheme which was announced by the government to provide the financial support of 6,000 rupees to farmers. Answer in comment box what is the name of this particular scheme. Now, if we talk about agriculture sector, recently Krishi Udan scheme was announced and this scheme is to be implemented by Civil Aviation Ministry and the objective of this scheme is to provide transportation facilities to the agricultural products. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana is associated with which sector? So it is associated to food processing and therefore it is going to be implemented by Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Now, what is the meaning of food processing? In simplest term, like from tomato to tomato ketchup is food processing. Similarly, potato to potato chips is an example of food processing. So through food processing, the shelf life of food is increased and therefore it leads to the value addition. So it will be helpful in increasing the income of farmer. Now, if we talk about Ministry of Food Processing, presently Harsimrat Kaur Badal is the minister and recently she was in news as she launched a platform called Market Intelligence and Early Warning System. Answer in comment box what is the objective of this particular initiative. On which date the World Rare Disease Day is celebrated? So this question was already covered in Telegram and the answer is 29th of February. And the theme of this year's World Rare Disease Day was Reframe Rare for Rare Disease. Indian Railways recently launched first restaurant on wheels at Asansol Railway Station. Now the question is, this station is located in which state? So it is located in state of West Bengal and this is India's first restaurant on wheels. So this restaurant is to serve both passengers as well as to the general public. Now if we talk about railway, recently railway renamed RPF, that is Railway Protection Force, as Indian Railway Protection Force Service. Railway was also in news as recently the Chief of Railway Board Mr. V.K. Yadav was given an extension of 1 year. Apart from that, Railway was also in news because of Ask Disha chatbot of IRCTC. Now why this chatbot was in news? It was in news because now it has been upgraded and therefore it can even have a conversation in Hindi. Now if we talk about Disha, recently Disha Act was in news. Answer in comment box, this Disha Act is associated to which state of India? India is to partner with which country in the implementation of Purvodaya scheme? So India and Japan are going to collaborate for this particular scheme, and this scheme is related to the development of steel sector in eastern India. It should be noted that the present Minister of Steel is Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, and for this initiative, India has partnered with the METI of Japan. METI stands for Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry. So Japan is the partner country to make Odisha as important center of this Purvodaya scheme. What is the objective of this Purvodaya scheme? Objective is to develop a steel sector by creating integrated steel hub in eastern region of our country. The biggest explosion seen in the universe since the Big Bang have recently been discovered using giant meter wave radio telescope. Now the question is, where is the GMRT located? So this GMRT is located in Pune. Pune is in Maharashtra, and actually this GMRT is operated by the National Centre for Radio Astrophysics. Now if we talk about Pune, it is in Maharashtra, and recently Maharashtra was in news as it decided to provide 5% reservation to the Muslims in educational institutions. Maharashtra was also in news as India's first electric intercity bus was started in Maharashtra between Mumbai and Pune. On the other hand, India's first LNG, that is liquefied natural gas bus service, was started in Kerala. Kerala was also in news as recently it decided to ban CFL and fluorescent bulbs from November 2020. What is the name of first women pediatrician to be elevated to the highest rank of Lieutenant General for Indian Army doctors? So right answer is Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar. And C is the first women pediatrician to be elevated to the highest rank of Lieutenant General for Indian Army doctors. It should be noted that C is the only doctor on Prime Minister's STIAC. Now what is STIAC? It is Science and Technology Innovation Advisory Committee. As of 2020, which Indian Finance Minister has presented the maximum number of union budgets? So right answer is former Indian Prime Minister Mr. Morarji Desai. He had presented 10 union budgets. On the other hand, Mr. P. Chidambaram had presented so far 9 union budgets, and Mr. Pranab Mukherjee had presented 8 union budgets. Now why this question was in news? Actually, recently on 29th of February, birth anniversary of Mr. Morarji Desai was celebrated, and that is why this particular event was in news. Ajay Tyagi is the chairman of which regulatory body of India? So this is a simple question. Mr. Tyagi is the chairman of SEBI, and recently he was in news because the government has approved a 6-month extension to the present chairman of SEBI. SEBI stands for Securities and Exchange Board of India. The headquarters of SEBI is in Mumbai. It should be noted that SEBI is a statutory body. Statutory body means it is created by some law, and SEBI was given the statutory status in 1992. Which city hosted the 11th National Krishi Vigyan Kendra Conference? So this conference held in New Delhi, and the Union Agriculture Minister Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar inaugurated this particular event. Now Mr. Tomar is Member of Parliament from Morena. Morena is in Madhya Pradesh. Recently Madhya Pradesh was in news as India's first e-waste clinic was set up in Madhya Pradesh in Bhopal, and it is a collaboration between BMC, that is Bhopal Municipal Corporation, and CPCB. CPCB stands for Central Pollution Control Board, and it is a statutory body, and it is under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Matt Levatich, who was in news recently, was the CEO of which motorcycle manufacturing company? So he was the CEO of Harley Davidson, and recently he was in news as he stepped down from his post. What is the name of recently launched scheme that aims to provide nutritional support to pregnant women and adolescent girls? So the name of scheme is Suposhit Ma Abhiyan, and recently Lok Sabha Speaker Mr. Om Birla launched this Suposhit Ma Abhiyan, and this scheme was launched in Kota. Kota is in Rajasthan. Mr. Om Birla is present Lok Sabha Speaker. So the objective of this particular scheme is to provide nutritional support to the pregnant women and to the adolescent girls. Rajasthan was also in news as recently Rajasthan passed a resolution against CAA, that is Citizenship Amendment Act. So Kerala is the first state to pass a resolution against CAA, while Puducherry is the first union territory to pass resolution against Citizenship Amendment Act. Environmental activist Afroz Shah, who was making news for co-participating with the Minister of Norway in river cleanup, is from which state? So Afroz Shah is from Maharashtra and he is a environmental activist from Mumbai. And recently he was in news for the cleanup of Mithi River. Now, if we talk about Maharashtra, the state was in news because of Cyber Safe initiative. Maharashtra was also in news as recently government announced 5 days a week initiative. As per this, the government employees will have to work only 5 days in a week and they will get 2 days as holiday. Maharashtra was also in news as recently first electric bus service of India, means intercity electric bus service of India was recently started in Maharashtra between Mumbai and Pune. What is Rider X, which was recently developed by a laboratory of DRDO and Indian Institute of Science. So it is a explosive detection device which was co-developed by the HEMRL and IISc Bengaluru. Now HEMRL stands for High Energy Material Research Laboratory. It is a laboratory of DRDO and this laboratory is situated in Pune. Pune is in Maharashtra. Recently Maharashtra was in news as it won the highest number of medals in Khelo India Youth Games. This event held in Assam. As per this event, Maharashtra won the maximum number of medals while Haryana was on second position in terms of medal tally. Answer in comment box. DRDO is under which union ministry? The proposed Chair of Excellence at Department of Defense and Strategic Studies is to be named after which Indian Air Chief Marshal? So recently, Indian Air Force and Savitribai Phule University signed a memorandum of understanding to set up a Chair of Excellence at Department of Defense and Strategic Studies to commemorate the 100 years of birthday of IAF officer Marshal Arjun Singh. It should be noted that Marshal Arjun Singh is the only 5-star rank IAF officer. IAF stands for Indian Air Force. If we talk about Savitribai Phule University, this university is in Pune in Maharashtra. And recently, the birth anniversary of Savitribai was celebrated on 3rd of January. She was a well-known social reformer and she is the first female teacher of India. It should be noted that Savitribai Phule, along with her husband Jyotirao Phule, founded India's first girls' school in Pune in 1848. Which state recently ordered the prohibition of online supply of food without hygiene rating from the food business operators? So recently, Punjab was in news because of this particular decision. So now, the food business operators who do not have hygiene ratings from FSSAI will not be able to supply food, and the food aggregators like Zomato will not be able to deliver food from these food sources who do not have hygiene ratings. So FSSAI is under Health Ministry. Now Punjab was also in news because of its decision to ban online lotteries. Punjab was also in news as recently it decided to reduce the retirement age from 60 to 58. Mohiuddin Yassin recently sworn in as the new Prime Minister of which country? So he is the new Prime Minister of Malaysia. It should be noted that the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Mahathir Mohamad, stepped down and Mohiuddin Yassin became the new Prime Minister of Malaysia. Capital of Malaysia is Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia was also in news as recently Sumatran rhino became extinct in Malaysia after the death of last Sumatran rhino, and the name of this last Sumatran rhino was Iman. When is the Zero Discrimination Day observed across the world? So it is observed on 1st of March and it is observed by UN AIDS, and the focus of this year Zero Discrimination Day was zero discrimination against women and girls. Which Indian university was the winner of Khelo India University Games 2020. So recently the first edition of Khelo India University Games held in Odisha, and the Punjab University won the highest number of medals in this event, and it was on first position, while Savitribai Phule University of Pune was on second position. It should be noted that this Punjab University is in Chandigarh. Chandigarh is a union territory, and recently Chandigarh was in news as it is going to be the host of archery and shooting events for the Commonwealth Games of 2022. The Commonwealth Games of 2022 are going to be in Birmingham, but these two events, that means archery and shooting related events, are going to be in India in Chandigarh, and the medals won by the teams in this Chandigarh event will be added to the final tally of medals won in the Birmingham. Now, if we talk about Commonwealth Games, these are organized every 4 years, and recently Commonwealth was in news as Maldives became the 54th member of Commonwealth. Maldives was also in news as recently it became the 22nd member of IORA. IORA stands for Indian Ocean Rim Association. Answer in comment box, where is the Secretariat of IORA? Richard John Pius, who passed away recently, was associated to which field? So, he was associated to literature, and he was known for his short stories and poems in Konkani language. Answer in the comment box, is this Konkani language mentioned in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution? The Civil Lekha Samman Awards is related to which Indian civil service? So, it is related to Indian Civil Accounts Service, and recently the Civil Accounts Day was celebrated on 1st of March, and that is why the Civil Lekha Samman Awards were in news. Heather Watson of UK recently won the women's single title of which tennis tournament? So she won the Mexican Open in women's category. On the other hand, in men's category, Rafael Nadal won the Mexican Open. If we talk about Mexico, the capital of Mexico is Mexico City. Now, Mexico was also in news as recently United Nations called the Santiago River of Mexico as the most polluted waterway of Mexico. Mexico was also in news as recently Mexican actress Yalitza Aparicio was named as the Goodwill Ambassador of UNESCO. The headquarters of UNESCO is in France, in Paris, and recently France was in news as it was the host of G7 summit in 2019, and this year USA is going to be the host of this G7 summit. Recently, US, Mexico and Canada signed a trade deal. Answer in comment box, what is the name of this trade agreement? What is the name of India's former national athletics coach and Dronacharya awardee who passed away recently? So, his name is Mr. Joginder Singh Saini, and he was the athletics coach and he was the Dronacharya award winner. He passed away recently. Which tennis star recently won the Dubai Tennis Championship for the first time since 2013? So, Novak Djokovic won it for the first time since 2013. And now, Novak Djokovic has won 21 matches consecutively. Now, if we talk about Dubai, it is the largest city of UAE. The capital of UAE is Abu Dhabi. Recently, UAE was in news because of first nuclear power plant of Arab world, and the name of this power plant is Barak Power Plant. Recently, Dubai was in news as world's first camel hospital was started in Dubai. Apart from that, recently UAE was also in news because of world's first graduation level artificial intelligence university, and the name of this university is Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence. More together, a multilingual ad campaign is launched in India by which company? So it has been launched by Facebook, and India is the first country in Asia Pacific in which this ad campaign has been launched by Facebook. Now, what is the objective of this ad campaign? The objective of this campaign is to reveal the potential of users about what they can perform by using their contacts on this Facebook platform. And the series of this campaign will be telecasted in 8 languages. Now, Facebook was also in news because of GOAL initiative. GOAL stands for Going Online as Leaders. Now, recently Facebook partnered with Ministry of Tribal Affairs for this initiative, and the objective is to inspire the tribal girls to become the village level digital young leaders. Facebook was also in news because of its We Think Digital initiative. Answer in comment box what is the objective of this particular initiative. Apart from that, Facebook was also in news because of Libra. Libra is the digital currency of Facebook. Caste is a mutual fund platform of which smartphone manufacturer? Right answer is Oppo. So it is an initiative of mobile manufacturing company Oppo. Oppo is a China-based company and it launched Oppo Cash. So it offers the users to invest in mutual funds. The platform will also provide the free credit reports and personal loans up to 2 lakh rupees and business loans up to 2 crores. Now Oppo was also in news as recently Byju replaced Oppo and Byju became the official sponsor of Team India. That means national team of cricket. If we talk about cricket, recently Mr. Saurabh Ganguly became the president of BCCI. Which international organization released 15 million from its Central Emergency Response Fund to battle outbreak of COVID-19. COVID stands for Coronavirus Disease 2019 and the name was given by WHO, that is World Health Organization. So recently United Nations released 15 million from its CERF to fund the global efforts to tackle coronavirus. The outbreak of coronavirus started from Wuhan in China, and in India the first case of coronavirus was found in Kerala. Apart from that, recently San Francisco declared emergency due to coronavirus. San Francisco is a city in California in USA. On the other hand, coronavirus was also in news as recently Diamond Princess, a cruise ship, was recently quarantined due to coronavirus. What is the theme of World Hearing Day that was observed on 3rd of March? So the theme was Don't Let Hearing Loss Limit You. So it is a day that is celebrated by WHO, that is World Health Organization, and it is observed on 3rd of March. And the theme of this year was Don't Let Hearing Loss Limit You. On which date the World Wildlife Day is celebrated across the world? So it is celebrated on 3rd of March. And the theme of this year World Wildlife Day was Sustain All Life on Earth. Now the 3rd of March is special because on this date a resolution related to the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna was adopted. So the short form is CITES. So the resolution related to this convention was adopted at the meeting of IUCN. IUCN stands for International Union for Conservation of Nature, and the headquarters of IUCN is in Gland in Switzerland. Which tri-state sanctuary has been declared as eco-sensitive zone recently? So recently MOEF, that is Ministry of Environment and Forest, issued a notification and declared National Chambal Sanctuary as eco-sensitive zone, and it is located on the tri-junction of 3 states. These are Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, and this sanctuary is home to 75% of ghadials. The exhibition named EKAM Fest is organized by which union ministry? So this event held in New Delhi and it was organized by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Actually it was organized by NHFDC. NHFDC stands for National Handicapped Finance Development Corporation and it is under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So what was the objective of this particular event? This event provided the platform to differentially abled men and women to showcase their product, and this event was organized in New Delhi. As of March 2020, BEE, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency, has covered how many appliances under star labeling program. So you might have seen those star rating on various equipments. So right answer is 26. Actually BEE, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency, has formulated the star labeling program under Energy Conservation Act, and it is an act of 2001. Now recently BEE expanded its coverage to 2 more appliances. These 2 are deep freezers and second one is light commercial air conditioner. So for these 2 appliances recently energy efficiency ratings were started, and now as per this star labeling program, total 26 appliances are covered. If we talk about BEE, it is a statutory body under Ministry of Power. And recently it was in news as it prepared an index, and the name of index was State Energy Efficiency Index, and it was developed by BEE in collaboration with Alliance for Energy Efficient Economy. Now answer in comment box which state was on top position as per this State Energy Efficiency Index. The chairman of LuLu Group, A Yusuff Ali, became the first Indian to receive premium residency of which country? So right answer is Saudi Arabia. And recently Mr. A Yusuff Ali became the first Indian to receive premium residency of Saudi Arabia. Actually it is also known as Saudi Green Card, and this green card grants expatriates the right to live and right to have business as well as right to property in Saudi Arabia without the requirement of sponsor. So what is the meaning of this sponsor system? It means that all foreigners require a local sponsor, that means a local person who can vouch for you, then only you would be able to live and work in Saudi Arabia. Now Mr. A Yusuff Ali is a UAE based businessman, and that is why he is expatriate for Saudi Arabia, and recently he became the first Indian to receive premium residency in Saudi Arabia. So Mr. Yusuff Ali is Indian, but his business is settled in Abu Dhabi in UAE. Now UAE was also in news as recently it was declared reciprocating territory by India. UAE was also in news as it is the first country in Arab world to set a nuclear power plant. India's ambassador to UAE is Mr. Pawan Kapoor. The mobile application Humsafar is associated to which service? So it is associated to door delivery of fuel, and recently Union Labour Minister Mr. Santosh Gangwar launched this mobile application, and this app is launched with an objective to deliver fuel at doorsteps of housing societies, hotels and hospitals in the National Capital Region. Ramnik Lal Solanki, who was an Order of British Empire awardee, passed away recently. He was associated to which field? So he was associated to journalism, and he was the founder editor of Garvi Gujarat, as well as he was associated to Asian Media Group. RBI is conducting 1 year and 3 year tenor LTRO to help banks to reduce their lending rates. So what is the full form of LTRO? LTRO stands for long term repo operation. So the objective behind this initiative of RBI is to reduce the lending rates of banks. Now how it is going to work? Actually it is a measure that will bring down the short term rates, and therefore it will boost the investment in corporate bonds. Now it should be noted that to reduce the interest rate, RBI also launched Operation Twist. It was OMO, that is open market operation, in which RBI purchased the long-term securities and RBI sold short-term securities. RBI was also in news as recently it launched Money app to help visually challenged people to identify currency notes. Apart from that, recently Mr. Michael Patra was appointed as the new Deputy Governor of RBI. Which state government recently abolished the policy of granting service extension to its employees after retirement? So this state is Punjab, and recently it also decided to reduce the retirement age of employees. So the previous age was 60, now it has been reduced to 58. In addition to that, it also decided to abolish the policy of granting service extensions. What is the meaning of service extensions? It means state government earlier allowed employees to work up to 62 years, even though retirement age was 60. How it was possible? It was possible because the state government provided service extensions. Now, the state government decided to abolish this policy. Now, Punjab was also in news as recently Punjab and Haryana High Court fined both state governments, that means state government of Punjab and Haryana, for causing damage to Sukhna Lake. The High Court declared this lake as a living entity. Punjab was also in news as recently it banned online lotteries. It also passed a resolution against CAA. Answer in comment box which is the first union territory to pass a resolution against CAA. Mo Sarkar is a service initiative with state government. So it is an initiative of Odisha government, and the objective of this initiative is to provide dignified service to the citizens who come to the government offices. Now, Odisha was also in news as recently first edition of Khelo India University Games held in Odisha. Answer in comment box which university won the highest number of medals in this event. Odisha was also in news as recently it launched a helpline for the laborers, and the name of this helpline is Shramik Samadhan. So this helpline was launched to support laborers. Now recently Labour Ministry also launched a new portal for the speedy redressal of grievances of workers, and the name of this portal is Santust, which is the parent agency of NPL, that is National Physical Laboratory, which recently developed a security ink to curb fake printing of currency notes. So this NPL developed security ink, and NPL is a laboratory of CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. So recently NPL developed a security ink which glows in red and green when illuminated by two different sources. So this will help in finding out the fake currency notes. Now if we talk about CSIR, it was established in 1942, and Prime Minister of India is the ex officio president of CSIR. So whosoever is going to be the Prime Minister of country, by virtue of that, he or she is going to be the president of CSIR. The Director General of CSIR is Mr. Sekhar Mande. Now CSIR was also in news as it is the top institute as per Nature Ranking Index of 2020. Tasneem Mir and Mansi Singh, who were in news recently, are associated with which sports? So these are associated with badminton, and recently they won the bronze medal in the girls singles event at the Yonex Dutch Junior International Tournament, and this tournament held in Netherlands. Which city is host to the food and hospitality fair Ahar? So New Delhi is the host of this event, and this event is organized by ITPO. ITPO stands for India Trade Promotion Organization in association with APEDA and Ministry of Food Processing. Now if we talk about APEDA, it is Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, and it is under Commerce Ministry. If we talk about Food Processing Ministry, recently it was in news as government sanctioned 32 projects under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, and this Ministry of Food Processing is the nodal agency to implement this Kisan Sampada Yojana. Balbir Singh Khullar, who passed away recently, was the famous personality of which sports? So he was associated to hockey, and he passed away recently. He was from Punjab. Which Chief Minister of Indian State has been conferred with the Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee Award 2020 for politics? So recently, the Chief Minister of Assam, Mr. Sarbanand Sonowal, was presented this award. Now this award was instituted by India Foundation. It should be noted that recently Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee name was also in news as the Kolkata port has been renamed after Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee. Recently Kolkata port was also in news as it completed 150 years, and recently it became the first port to present its tableau during the Republic Day ceremony. So it is the first port which presented its own tableau, and it presented its own tableau under Ministry of Shipping. The President of Brazil, Mr. Jair Bolsonaro, was the chief guest of Republic Day ceremony. Now answer in comment box which ministry is the nodal ministry to implement Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee Rural-Urban Mission. The historic city chowk of which Indian state or union territory has been renamed as Bharat Mata Chowk. So it is in Jammu and Kashmir, and it is located in the Jammu. And the starting point of this circular road in the city was named after former Prime Minister Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and the name of this circular chowk is Atal Chowk. So this is the name of starting point, and this Bharat Mata Chowk is the new name of city chowk. Which union ministry is the nodal ministry for implementation of e-Vidhan project under Digital India program. So, Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs is the nodal ministry for implementing the e-Vidhan project in all states and union territories of our country. Actually, this NEVA, that is National e-Vidhan application, creates a data repository and it aims to bring all legislatures of our country on a single platform. And recently this initiative was in news because the Assembly of Arunachal Pradesh implemented this e-Vidhan project. It simply means digitization of the work of legislatures so that every information can be accessed from anywhere. Now answer in comment box, who is the head of Cabinet Committee on Parliamentary Affairs? Who has been appointed as the new Finance Secretary? So recently, Mr. Ajay Bhushan Pandey has been appointed as new Finance Secretary. Previous Finance Secretary was Mr. Rajiv Kumar. It should be noted that a senior most bureaucrat in the Finance Ministry is appointed as the Finance Secretary, and the appointment was approved by ACC, that is Appointment Committee of Cabinet. ACC is headed by Prime Minister. What is the time limit within which Lokpal shall dispose of a complaint of corruption against public servant? So recently DOPT, that is Department of Personnel and Training, notified the guidelines for filing complaints with Lokpal, and as per this guidelines, the complaint can be filed in English or in any of the 22 languages mentioned in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. Now it should be noted that the Lokpal shall dispose of any received complaint within 30 days. And last year, Justice P.C. Ghosh was appointed as the first chairperson of Lokpal. One key point is that Lokpal is at union level while we have Lokayukt at states level. Apart from that, if we talk about the composition of Lokpal, Lokpal consists of a chairperson with a maximum of 8 members, and out of these 8, 50% are supposed to be judicial members, and 50% of the members of Lokpal shall come from SC, ST, OBC, minorities and women. Mukhyamantri Dal Bhat Yojana is a subsidized food scheme of which state government? So it is a scheme of Jharkhand government, and as per this scheme, the government has decided to provide a meal at the price of ₹5. Now Jharkhand was also in news as recently Greenpeace released a report, and as per that report, Jharia in Jharkhand is the most polluted city in India. Jharkhand was also in news as recently the term Thalynomics was used in economic survey. Thalynomics means the affordability of food plate. That means how much affordable is a food plate. So as per the economic survey, Jharkhand has the cheapest vegetarian thali. The week of March 1 to March 7 is celebrated as which week across the country? So it is celebrated as Jan Aushadhi Week, and during this week, various Jan Aushadhi Kendra are set up to provide free medicines. It should be noted that there is a scheme related to Jan Aushadhi, and the name of scheme is Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana, and this is an initiative by Department of Pharmaceutical, and it is under Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizer. So as per this scheme, the quality medicines are provided at affordable price. Which country recently assumed presidency of the United Nations Security Council for March 2020? So recently China became the president of UNSC for March 2020. It should be noted that United Nations Security Council has 5 permanent members, which are known as P5, and 10 non-permanent members, and these non-permanent members are appointed for the term of 2 years, while the permanent members are USA, China, Russia, UK and France. Now it should be noted that the presidency of United Nations Security Council is rotated every month among these 15 members. China was also in news because of corona outbreak in Wuhan. Which state government has announced to provide the financial assistance to the farmers for keeping stray cattle at their homes? So to provide shelter to the stray cattle, the state government of Uttar Pradesh has decided to provide the financial support to to the farmers. And as per this scheme, rupee 900 will be provided to the farmers per month so that they can support the stray cattle. Now, if we talk about Uttar Pradesh, recently state was in news because of Defense Expo. And during this expo, India-Africa conclave was organized. And after that, Lucknow Declaration was adopted for the better collaboration between India and African nations in the field of defense sector. Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently it started a awareness campaign for the farmers to protect their sugarcane crop from locust. And recently, locust was in news as Pakistan and Somalia declared emergency because of locust invasion. Apart from that, it was also in news that China may send ducks to help Pakistan with this locust invasion. However, this news was not confirmed by the official sources. Which Indian is the recipient of 128th Commonwealth Points of Light Award? So recently, Jadav Payeng, the forest man of India, was named the winner of 128th Commonwealth Points of Light Award. Mr. Jadav Payeng is known as forest man because he transformed a treeless sandbar along the Brahmaputra river into a vast wildlife shelter. Which country became the first in world to make public transport free? So this country is Luxembourg. It is a European country and the capital of this country is Luxembourg City, and it decided to make all type of public transport free. The currency of this country is Euro. Answer in comment box, is it a part of European Union or not? Now recently European Union was in news as it decided that European Union is going to be the carbon neutral by 2050. European Union was also in news because of Brexit. Which country is developing satellite to predict bushfire danger zones? So this country is Australia, and recently it faced the devastation because of bushfires, and now the scientists at Australian National University announced that they are designing the country's first satellite to predict the bushfire danger zones. That means which areas are more prone to bushfire. This can be identified with the help of this particular satellite. Now Australia was also in news as recently it awarded Order of Australia Award to Kiran Majumdar-Shaw. Kiran Majumdar-Shaw is the founder and CMD of Biocon. It is a pharmaceutical company of India, and recently she was also in news as she became the EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2019. And one more thing, that she is the fourth Indian to receive this Order of Australia award. India's services sector growth hits 7-year high in February as per recent PMI. Now the question is, what is the full form of PMI? PMI stands for Purchasing Managers Index, and as per this index, the service sector rose for the 5th consecutive month to 57.5. Now if the score is higher than 50, it shows expansion. If the score is lower than 50, then it shows contraction in that particular sector. Now this PMI is released by a firm IHS Markit. This KIT, this is the spelling of this firm. The restriction on cryptocurrency trade imposed by RBI was recently lifted by which institution? So this question was already covered in The Hindu newspaper analysis, so you can watch that video. And right answer is Supreme Court of India. How many questions are to be asked by the central government during the collection of data for census 2021? So right answer is 31 questions. And as per the recent notification from center, it has finalized a set of 31 questions to be asked during the data collection for census 2021. And this census is conducted as per the provisions of Census Act of 1948. It should be noted that this 2021 census is going to be the 16th census. The 15th census was conducted in 2011. Now answer in comment box. This time census will be conducted in how many languages? One more important thing is that the census is conducted by Office of Registrar General and Census Commissioner, and it is under Ministry of Home Affairs. Present Home Secretary is Mr. Ajay Singh Bhalla, while present Home Minister is Mr. Amit Shah, and recently he presided over the Island Development Authority. The committee for working out the operational guidelines of Kisan Rail is formed under which union ministry? So, right answer is Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Now, the objective of this Kisan Rail scheme is to set up a national cold supply chain for the transportation of perishable items like meat, milk or fish. And this Kisan Rail will be set up by Indian Railways through public-private partnership. So as per this Kisan initiative, the trains will have refrigerated coaches, and through these coaches, the perishable items can be transported from one place to another place. And recently, this initiative was announced during the Union Budget. Now, in Budget, there was one more initiative that is related to the transportation of food products, and the name of this initiative is Krishi Udan Scheme. So, this scheme is going to be implemented by Ministry of Civil Aviation. Present Minister is Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri. Answer in comment box whether this Kisan Udan scheme will be only for national routes or it will also be applicable for international routes. Which payment and fintech company recently received brokerage license from IRDAI? So recently, Paytm received the license from IRDAI. IRDAI stands for Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Saif Ali Verma, who was making news recently, is a famous personality of which sports? So C is associated to cricket, and C was in news because C was placed in top spot in ICC Women's T20 International Ranking, and C became the second Indian women cricketer after Mithali Raj to occupy the top position in ICC Women's T20 ranking. Now, ICC stands for International Cricket Council. The headquarters is in Dubai in UAE, and recently Dubai was in news as world's first camel hospital was started in Dubai. Answer in comment box in which state of India the first elephant hospital was started. Which former Indian cricketer has been named as the chairman of National Selection Panel? So, CAC of BCCI has named Mr. Sunil Joshi as the chairman of National Selection Panel. CAC stands for Cricket Advisory Committee. If we talk about BCCI, recently Mr. Saurabh Ganguly became the president of BCCI. These were the most important questions of first week of March. Thank you, and that's all for the day.